In other news, Huawei's chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou appeared before a Canadian court to alert bail conditions and also set out court appearance dates a day after the US slapped criminal charges against her and Huawei. The court has agreed to push back Meng's next date of appearance to March 6th from February 6th. Till then, Meng Wanzhou will be put under a 24-hour surveillance. The court appearance comes after US Department of Justice filed a host of charges against the Chinese tech giant and its executive. The charges include bank fraud, obstruction of justice, and theft of technology. The US Department of Justice has claimed that Huawei tried to steal trade secrets in America. It also tried to circumvent economic sanctions against Iran.
And these cases make clear that as a country, we have to carefully consider the risks that companies like Huawei pose if we're going to allow them into our telecommunications infrastructure. Today's charges serve as a warning that the FBI does not and will not tolerate businesses that violate our laws, obstruct our justice, and jeopardize our national security.
Both Huawei and its executive have denied those charges, with the company issuing a statement rejecting the allegations and denying awareness of any wrongdoing by Meng Wanzhou. China has urged the United States to stop the ill-founded suppression of Chinese companies, as it calls it, after the US justice officials brought criminal charges against Huawei and the CFO.
一段时间以来，美方动用国家力量抹黑和打压特定的中国企业，企图扼杀企业的正当合法经营，背后有很强的政治意图和政治操弄。我们强烈敦促美方停止对包括华为在内的中国企业的无理打压，客观公正地对待中国企业。中方已将坚决地捍卫中国企业的合法正当权益。
Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has reiterated that Canada is determined to fulfill its treaty obligations and see that the rule of the law is upheld.
We are focused on fulfilling our international obligations, our treaty obligations, making sure that the rule of law is consistently and integrally applied. We are a country of the rule of law. We're going to make sure that the law is always respected.
Even as India and China remain engaged to resolve bilateral issues, the US believes that ties between the two sides will remain tense this year, and that conclusion has been made in the latest worldwide threat assessment report of US intelligence. US intelligence agencies have noted that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping are trying to improve ties between the two countries. However, while addressing the US Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, the Director of US National Intelligence, Dan Coats, said that border issues will continue to be a huge cause of concern. He said, and I'm quoting, misperception of military movements or construction might result in tensions escalating into armed conflict. We expect relations between India and China to remain tense despite efforts on both sides to manage tensions since the border standoff in 2017, elevating the risk of unintentional escalation. The court also cited the friction between the two sides over Beijing's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. India has strongly criticized the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is part of the BRI, as it passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.